So I was saying this little boy, he was able to talk, but um his speech was a little, it wasn't slurred, but sometimes it could be hard to understand what he was saying. And also sometimes he would have difficulties with walking. Well, like I said, his mom finally got him out of the one class where the where that attendant was had hit him 5 times, and she gets him to another class. And it started off going well, and then one day he comes home and she asks him to walk to his room, and he breaks down crying. And she's like, why is he crying when I'm asking him to go to his room? Well, she found out that the new teacher, the new class he was in, and the new teacher, she was using walking as a punishment for him. And that just made his mom, it made her mad. It's like, he's already struggling with walking. Why would you use walking as a punishment? So she ended up, taking him out of the public school system. And just to hear that story, and there's been other stories I've heard about special needs kids being neglected and stuff like that. We didn't want our son being put in that situation. Again, thankfully, in the past, he's had great teachers. They've just been caring teachers and doing their best to give him the best education that, they could give him. But as our son gets bigger, he's getting stronger. And again, with him being hyperspastic, he got his moments where he gets excited and he gets really tight. And again, he can get really tight when you want him to do something. And if somebody's frustrated because he's taking too long to calm down, and they yank on his arm or pull on him the wrong way and, leave bruises on him, that's a big problem. And so it was laid on our heart to homeschool him. And again, he's our responsibility. And we pray that the Lord continues to give us strength to try to meet our son's needs, to give him the best education that we can, and to hopefully in his own way he can understand and remember what we're teaching him. And our biggest hope is that he'll gain some level of independence from this. And so we just hope and pray that the Lord will bless the work of our hands for our son. So those are some of the reasons why we chose to homeschool him. And when we decided to homeschool him, I got no help from the school board. They were just like, you need to find other homeschooling moms. And I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be challenging because I don't know any other homeschooling parents. Like, I knew one lady, but like, I don't know homeschooling parents that were homeschooling their child who was not just special needs, but also multi-handicapped. And so thankfully I knew one mom, and she was a tremendous help. And she was like, this is what you need to do. You need to contact the Board of Ed and ask for the letter about withdrawing your son. And so basically what I had to do was I had to contact the Board of Ed and let them know we want to withdraw our son from public school. We want to homeschool him. So then they send you a letter with the criteria. And one of the criteria was you have to write a letter of intent. And the letter of intent is just that you write why you want to homeschool your child. And then you also put in your letter of intent some of the things that you're going to do for that school year. So, like, for example, with geography, with him, because with his curriculum, we try to make it not real simple, but to where he can understand and it's practical for him. So with geography, I have put on here, we will talk about different locations in the house, different rooms in the house. When we go to his granny's house, talk about how we're in one city, name the city we're in, and how granny's in this city. Um, with math, talking about we've been doing non-standard measurement with him a lot because that's a little easier for him, and it also gives him a chance to touch the items that we're doing. And so we've been using paper clips, and we'll use paper clips to measure his shoes, or to measure mixing spoons. And he's like that because I've been able to help him reach his hand out and touch the paper clip and help him slide the paper clips over. Um, so yeah, so that's one of the things we had to do, was write a letter of intent, and then you mail it off. And she also told me, this mom also told me, she said, keep a paper trail of everything you get from the board. And so when I mailed off his letter of intent, she told me to mail it certified. So these are what I got back saying they received his letter of intent. And so I keep these in his homeschooling file. And then when they send back the letter of approval, these are the two. This one is from the 2012-2013 school year, and this one is from the 2013-2014 school year. And it just basically says, this letter will serve as an official response to your request to educate your child at home as governed under Chapter 3301-34 of the Ohio State Board of Education. Rules for excuses for attendance for homeschool education. So these were his two letters. And at the end of this school year, we also have to do an assessment, and that's one of their requirements too, is that at the end of the school year, or by the end of the summer, we have to do an academic assessment. And with our son, the option we have for him is the option 2, which is the written narrative. And you have a teacher, if you can get a teacher, they come and they look over his portfolio. And so that's what we do with him. We do a portfolio, and they'll look at it and look at your summary for the school year and pictures that you may have put in the portfolio, and they'll make their assessment off of that. And this is the form 2 that the teacher has to sign. And so this form will go back to the Board of Education by the beginning of the next school year